hospital room was quiet, save for the low hum of machines that seemed to echo the slowing rhythm of my heart. The ceiling was white, painfully white, and I found myself staring at it more than I wanted to. I had always imagined that when the time came, when life began to slip through my fingers, I would feel something more profound. Maybe peace. Maybe clarity. But all I felt was an aching loneliness. I was 79 years old and utterly alone. My wife, Eleanor, had died 5 years ago, and my only son lived halfway across the world. He promised to visit, but promises don't keep you warm in a sterile hospital bed. I don't blame him. Life has a way of demanding more than we can give. I closed my eyes, listening to the distant shuffle of footsteps outside the door. Nurses moved in and out of rooms like clockwork. Efficient. Professional. But not one of them stayed long enough for me to remember their names. Then, one evening, she came in. "Good evening, Mr. Carter," a gentle voice said. I opened my eyes and saw her, a young nurse with dark, tired eyes that still somehow shone with warmth. Her name tag read Lily. "How are you feeling tonight?" she asked, pulling a chair close to my bed. I almost laughed. How was I feeling? Like the last chapter of my book had already been written. Like the world was turning the page without me. But I simply said, "I'm tired, Miss Lily. Very tired." She smiled, and for some reason, it didn't feel like the kind of smile people give out of pity. It was soft, understanding. She checked the machines, adjusted my blanket, and then did something unexpected. She stayed. Most nurses left as soon as their tasks were done, but Lily sat beside me. "Would you like me to read to you?" she asked. "I brought a book with me tonight." I hesitated. No one had read to me since Eleanor used to read poetry on warm Sunday afternoons. Something in me ached at the thought. "Yes," I said quietly. She pulled out a worn book of short stories and began to read. Her voice was soft, like rain tapping on the roof of an old house. For the first time in days, I closed my eyes not to shut the world out, but to let her words sink in. When she finished a story, she placed her hand on mine. "You feel cold," she murmured. I hadn't realized how cold I was until her hand warmed mine. I didn't want to let go. "Do you have family, Lily?" I asked. She nodded. "A little boy. He's 5. My husband passed away last year, so it's just the two of us now." I opened my eyes and looked at her. Grief recognized grief. "I'm sorry," I whispered. She smiled faintly. "I'm learning that love doesn't really die. It just changes shape." That night, she stayed longer than she should have. She told me about her son, how he liked to draw monsters with big, crooked smiles, and how he asked about heaven when they visited his father's grave. I told her about Eleanor, how she loved yellow roses and how she sang while cooking pancakes. When Lily left, I felt a strange sense of warmth in the cold room. Over the next few days, she visited me every night. Some nights she read, some nights she just sat quietly, holding my hand as the machines hummed. I began to look forward to her shift. It wasn't just the comfort of her hand, it was the way she made me feel human again, like I was more than a body waiting to be claimed by time. One night, I couldn't sleep. The pain was sharp, like knives twisting inside me. I tried to breathe through it, but every inhale felt like fire. Lily came in and found me trembling. She didn't panic. She didn't speak platitudes. She simply sat on the edge of the bed and held my hand tighter. "Breathe with me," she whispered. I tried, but the tears came anyway, not from the pain, but from the fear. "Lily," I said hoarsely, "I don't want to die alone." Her grip tightened, and her voice, though soft, carried an unshakable strength. "You're not alone," she said. "I'm right here. I'll stay." There was something in the way she said it, a quiet promise, a vow. And for the first time in weeks, I believed it. The following morning, I felt weaker. My body was a shadow of what it once was. Every movement felt heavy, like dragging chains through water. Lily knew. I could see it in her eyes when she checked my vitals. She sat with me again, reading softly, though I could barely focus on the words. "Lily," I murmured, "tell your boy, tell him you love him every day, even when he's grown. Especially then." Tears glimmered in her eyes. "I will." The machines beeped steadily, but I knew time was running thin. I thought of Eleanor, of the first time I saw her in that red dress, of the laughter we shared over decades. I thought of our son's first steps, of the way she used to hum while folding laundry. My chest ached, not just from illness, but from the weight of all that love I still carried. "Do you think we see them again?" I asked, my voice trembling. She squeezed my hand. "I like to think so. I like to believe love is too big to just disappear." I felt a tear roll down my cheek. "Eleanor's waiting, then?" She nodded. "She's waiting." That night, I slipped into sleep with Lily's hand still wrapped around mine. I could hear her softly humming a lullaby, maybe for me, maybe for her boy. In my dream, I was standing in a field of yellow roses. Eleanor was there, smiling like she used to. She reached out her hand, and for the first time in years, I felt no pain. When I opened my eyes again, I knew my time was close. "Lily," I whispered. She leaned close, her eyes full of tears. "I'm here." "Thank you for holding my hand," I said. "You're not alone," she replied, her voice breaking. And with her hand in mine, I closed my eyes and let go.